facilities and take a stretch, and we'll convene when you're ready.
All right, for the jury.
Thank you. You may be seated. We are outside the presence of the jury. Anything we need to address before we break, Attorney Thompson?
No. Actually, yes, my next witness is Talisa Maldonado, and I would like to address, please, my request to not have her testimony recorded.
Sure. The court heard this pretrial and is granting the state's request. The court will supplement its media order to specifically address the next witness because the next witness is a representative of the victim. In addition to being a witness, the court is going to restrict any filming and streaming of this next witness's testimony. It can be audio, but I ask that the witness not be photographed or any visual representation of the witness because of victim confidentiality and victim privacy. However, we will be referring to her by name, and she will testify as normal. Anything else, Attorney Thompson?
No, thank you.
Mr. Lychwick, anything before we break?
My name is Lychwick, Your Honor. No, I have no questions at this time, except to add again that this is a travesty of justice on my end. I'm not receiving a fair trial.
I'm number 5. Here, what's got my notebook?
Thank you. You may be seated. The state may call its next witness.
Thank you. The state calls Talisa Maldonado.
Ma'am, come on up to the witness stand. When you get up by the seat, please remain standing and raise your right hand to be sworn in by our clerk.
Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give in this matter before the court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do.
Okay, have a seat. That black bar with the red dot in front of you is our microphone. Get yourself seated nice and closely to that. And when you are ready, start by stating your name, spelling your first name and your last name.
Okay. My name is Talisa Maldonado, T-A-L-I-S-A-M-A-L-D-O-N-A-D-O.
Thank you. Ms. Maldonado, are you familiar with an individual named Carlos Maldonado?
Yes.
Who is that?
That's my dad.
And were you aware of your father living in an apartment building in the city of Waukesha?
Yes.
Had you been there previously or not?
I had been there. I dropped him off there before, yes.
Okay. Now, I'm taking you back to April of 2024. The year or year and a half or so leading up to that time frame, were you and your dad close?
Yeah, we were.
Had there been a time in your lives where you were not as close as you were in the year leading up to April of 2024?
Yes. Yeah.
And in that process of reconnecting, did you guys talk on the phone often in that year leading up to April of 24?
Yeah, it was almost weekly, sometimes daily. It was, yeah.
And was your dad working at that time?
Yeah, for a time he was working at Amazon, and then he stopped working there, and he was trying to start his own business.
Do you know what business he was trying to start?
He was a jack of many trades, I guess, if that's the verbiage. He wanted a window tinting business, and then he wanted to like refurbish furniture.
Okay. Now, when he was at work, were there times where you would call him but he couldn't answer because he was at work?
Yes.
Did you ever get a response after he didn't answer from him saying that he would call you back or anything like that?
Always, yeah.
So there was always an acknowledgement of a call that he missed from you. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Would like to direct your attention to April 13th of 2024. On that date, did you have a phone call conversation with your dad?
Yes, yeah, I did.
Do you remember what you guys talked about?
Yeah. Do you want me to elaborate?
Yes, please. What did you talk about?
We talked about my boyfriend Mark that I just started seeing at the time, and he wanted to meet him. We talked about my FAFSA because I wanted to go back to school. And then we talked about going out to eat.
Okay. Now, as far as the FAFSA, you said you wanted to go back to school. What field did you want to study?
The medical field.
Okay. And was your dad encouraging you to go back to school?
Yeah.
What would he say to you about that during that conversation?
He was always like, Talisa, you're so wise. You're so smart. You should go back to school. Like, you would do great. I just see, like, he saw a lot of potential in me that I didn't see in myself.
You also talked about how you guys were having a conversation about going out to eat that week. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Did you and your dad have any kind of routine, if you will, in the sense of trying different kinds of restaurants together?
Mexican food. We always went to a Mexican restaurant, and we would try different Mexican food. It was mostly for the chips and salsa because I'm a chips and salsa girly. So I would try the different chips and salsa. I would be like, this one's good or this one not so much. I was kind of a critic, I guess.
And that's something that you and your dad had planned on either the week after that phone call or maybe the next week after. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to do that?
No.
Okay. Madam Clerk, can you please place the screen on in front of the witness only, please? Ms. Maldonado, I'm showing you what is marked as State's Exhibit number 65. Do you know what this photo is?
It's my dad.
Is this a photo that you provided to my office for purposes of this trial?
Yes.
I would move Exhibit 65 into evidence and ask to publish to the jury.
Any objection to admission?
No, none.
It is admitted. Any objection to publication?
No.
It may be published and used with the jury.
Ms. Maldonado, why did you pick this photo?
Because it showed how happy he was. I always saw my dad as this happy person and who loved me so much. And this is who I saw. So I wanted other people to see that too.
After you had this phone call on April 13th, did you attempt to contact your dad at all later that week?
Yeah, I did.
Did you try calling him, texting him, or something else?
Both.
Did he ever respond to any of those calls or texts?
No.
And was that unusual based on the contact you guys had been having leading up to that point?
Yeah, it was.
The following week then, when you still didn't get any calls or texts, what's starting to go through your mind? What are you feeling?
I was worried. I was confused. I didn't understand what was going on. Part of me was like, did something happen to him? Another part of me was like, did he ghost me? But then I'm like, my dad wouldn't do that. Like, it was just, I had a lot of different feelings.
Did you have family members reaching out to you asking if they had seen, or if you had seen your dad?
I did have my aunt reach out to me in May.
Had she seen or heard from him at all?
No, and she was curious if I had as well.
Okay. Did there come a time in May of 2024 where you went to or reported to the City of Waukesha Police Department that you hadn't seen or heard from your dad since April 13th?
Yes.
And were officers able to develop any leads at that time about whether he was missing or where he would have gone?
No.
Do you remember going to your dad's apartment building and being let into his apartment by one of the residents?
Yeah.
Do you remember her name at all by chance?
Glenda?
And when you went in, did you go inside your dad's apartment?
Yes.
And when you went inside, what did you notice about the inside of his apartment?
Everything was left behind, which wasn't usual. Yeah.
Is there anything that you saw in the apartment or were thinking that if you saw it, you knew he wouldn't have just fled because this wouldn't be left behind?
His birth certificate and his diplomas.
Did you see those anywhere in the apartment?
Yeah, they were above his refrigerator in like a cabinet in a bag.
So at this point now, you haven't heard from your dad, you haven't seen him, nobody's had any contact with him. You see these items that he wouldn't have left behind. What thoughts are starting to go through your mind then? Does the worry increase or decrease or something else?
I had a feeling that he may be passed because, or like something bad happened to him because he wouldn't leave that stuff behind.
Because of what?
He wouldn't leave that stuff behind.
Would it be fair to say that your heart knew something before your mind did?
Yeah.
Over the next few months, May turns into, the summer, and we come to October 30th of 2024. Were you personally trying to find your dad?
Yeah.
What were you doing?
It's kind of embarrassing. I would call like homeless shelters and stuff, and then I would call hospitals, and then I got to a point where like I was so desperate, I started calling psychics, because I just wanted to know what happened, where he was. Yeah.
Do you recall after that October 30th date, having a conversation with law enforcement officers and them telling you that they had found your dad's remains?
Yeah.
And were you aware of whether they were found on the property of his apartment building? Did they tell you that?
Yes, because prior they told me that they found a body at his apartment complex, but they couldn't confirm if it was him, and then later they confirmed it was him. So I knew where it was prior.
When you were having that conversation and you got that notification, what were you feeling?
Part of it was like relief of knowing, but another part was like a lot of pain. Because it wasn't supposed to happen like this. It wasn't supposed to happen. It was painful. I don't know.
Was he supposed to meet Mark?
Yeah.
Was he supposed to see you graduate college?
Yeah.
Ms. Maldonado, what do you do for employment now?
I'm a caregiver with dementia residents. Dementia residents.
And so is that one of the areas of the medical field that you were talking about maybe going back to school for, or at least in that field?
Yeah, it was either going to be nursing or psychology.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so now you take care of individuals with dementia, you said, right?
Yeah.
Do you work with friends, or is it like a company or something else?
So I do work for a company, but I do work with my friends as well. Yeah.
Okay. Is that something that you enjoy?
Yeah, I do really enjoy it.
Thank you, Ms. Maldonado. I do not have any other questions for you.
Cross-examination, Mr. Lychwick?
Outside of expressing my condolences for the loss of your father, I have no questions for this witness.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lychwick. You may step down, ma'am.